Title: Financial Loss Reimbursement Rules.
In some circumstances, OVS can provide reimbursement for lost income or savings related to a crime. There are 4 types of financial loss for which OVS may reimburse. If an innocent victim of crime cannot work due to their crime-related injuries, they may be eligible for loss of earnings. If a parent or guardian of a minor crime victim or witness to a personal injury crime who is being treated in an inpatient setting for crime-related injuries cannot work, the parent or guardian may be eligible for parental loss of earnings. If dependents of a victim who died as a result of a crime lose income because of the death, they may be eligible for loss of support. Persons who are defined as vulnerable are unable to care for themselves and lost savings as a result of a crime may be reimbursed for the amount up to $30,000. In this video, I will explain each of these categories of income loss and the requirements needed for OVS to determine whether an award may be made. Loss of earnings, or LOE, may only be made by an innocent victim of crime who sustained a personal injury, did not contribute to the injury, and is cooperating with law enforcement and prosecution. The law also allows claims to be awarded for other crime victims who are not injured as a direct result of a crime. These people may qualify for reimbursement under exception categories. The exceptions are explained in Video 3. The documents needed for LOE reimbursement include an official report from a criminal justice agency documenting the crime, proof of income, which OVS will obtain by sending a questionnaire to the victim's employer. If self-employed or a business owner, the victim must submit a filed copy of their federal tax return from the previous year or the year of the crime. Other documents needed are proof that the loss of income is caused by a crime-related disability. For proof, the victim must submit a disability statement from their physician. In addition, reimbursements from any sources must be disclosed, including employer union benefits such as leave accruals, disability benefit statements, workers' compensation decision, no fault or motor vehicle accident insurance statement, and a Social Security or supplemental income decision letter. Parental loss of earnings, or parental LOE, is a benefit for parents or guardians of an innocent victim of crime or witness to a personal injury crime who is under the age of 18. To be eligible for this claim benefit, the victim must have sustained a crime-related injury or witnessed a personal injury crime, receive for the most part inpatient health or mental health treatment related to the crime, and cooperate with law enforcement and prosecution. If the victim is injured, they must not have contributed to the injury. Parental LOE may only be considered during the period of time the child victim was hospitalized. Documents needed for a parental LOE include an official report from a criminal justice agency documenting the crime, proof of the claimant's income, proof of parentage or guardianship, and proof that the crime victim or witness received, for the most part, inpatient health care treatment related to the crime. The claimant must also disclose any salary reimbursements, such as leave accruals or if the employer continues to pay the claimant's salary. The third category is for loss of support, or LOS. This benefit pays compensation for the loss of income to a deceased victim's surviving dependents. To be eligible for this benefit, the victim must have died as a result of the crime-related injury and must not have contributed to the injury. Documents needed for loss of support, or LOS, include an official report from a criminal justice agency documenting the crime, proof of dependency to the deceased victim by submitting a copy of the claimant's marriage license to the victim, birth certificates of any dependent children, and/or documentation to prove principal support was provided by the victim. Other documents required are listed on the graphic here. They include the death certificate of the victim. The following important information applies to these financial loss benefits. Emergency awards can be considered after 2 weeks of lost income. The maximum emergency award amount is $2,500. The maximum payment is $600 per week, up to $30,000 per crime. No compensation is available on wages that were not reported to the appropriate taxing authority, and financial difficulty must be determined for a claim to exceed $10,000. The fourth financial loss type allows reimbursement for loss of savings for victims the law defines as being vulnerable. To be eligible, a victim must be unable to perform daily life functions for themselves. Awards are made for lost savings up to a maximum of $30,000. This concludes the video about OVS loss of earnings, support, and savings. OVS, providing help, healing, and hope for crime victims in New York State.
This product was supported by grant number 2015 VFGX0029, awarded by the Office for Victims of Crime, Office of Justice Programs, U.S. Department of Justice. The opinions, findings, and conclusions or recommendations expressed in this product are those of the contributors and do not necessarily represent the official position or policies of the U.S. Department of Justice.